my channel. So today I am back with another video, and this time we're going to be doing a fill on my nails. As you can see, they're pretty grown out now. It's been, I think this week actually makes 2 weeks since I last did my nails. So I honestly don't know what I'm gonna do just yet. I'm thinking about maybe doing a red and some bling, but we'll figure it out at the end. But the first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go in with my quartz drill bit. As you can see, it is a safety one, that way I don't cut myself since it is pretty sharp. But this is the Melody Susie nail drill, which is actually the Scarlet nail drill by Melody Susie, and I do have a promo code for them, so I'll be sure to leave that down below. But the first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go in and just file down the gel polish or the gel top coat that's on my nails, and I'm gonna try to remove the foil, but I think, let's see, it might be too deep into my nails, so I'm not gonna worry about taking off, you know, the colored acrylic and the foil from my nails. I'm just gonna fill in my nails like you normally would, just because you know, I'm gonna do a color over it, so I don't care for the foil to be there next time. So again, we're just gonna go in and just, of course, file down around the cuticle area, making sure that if we have any lifting, that we go ahead and remove it with the drill bit, and then just filing the rest of the nail to get rid of that gel top coat. Alrighty, so I filed away the gel top coat on this hand, so now I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other hand. Again, I'm not removing any of the colored acrylic or the foil from my nails because I am going to be doing most likely a red gel polish, so you're not going to be able to see through you know, the polish, so that's why I'm just leaving that in there. And because I think that next time that I do my fill again, I want to just wear this again, so that's why I'm not going to go ahead and take it off. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other hand. Again, I'm just removing that top coat from my nails, and then also just filing around the cuticle area, of course, you know, on the acrylic, just to file it down. And if we have any little lifting, then we just go ahead and remove that with the drill while we're doing this. Alrighty, so after we filed off the gel top coat, I'm going to go in with a cuticle pusher, and I'm just going to be pushing back the cuticles. And remember, this is just going to help expose the new growth and also help with reducing lifting. So again, we're just pushing back those cuticles. Alrighty, so after that we're gonna go in with our 180 sanding band, and this is going to remove the shine from the natural nail. So I went ahead and took off the quartz drill bit. We're switching it out for the 180 sanding band, and with this one I'm gonna slow it down to 5,000. I was using it at 10,000 when I was removing the top coat, so we're gonna slow this one down. And as always, we just file around the cuticle area to remove the shine from the natural nail. So make sure that you get around that cuticle area really good, because if not, you will get lifting. And then remember that when you're working with your drill, you want to adjust the speed to a speed that you feel comfortable. You know, just because I use it at 5,000 when I'm doing this, don't mean that you have to use it at 5,000 RPMs. Just kind of play with it, and whatever you feel comfortable using it at, then that's completely fine. Okay, so same thing on the other hand. Again, we're just removing this shine. And don't think about it too much when you're doing this, because again, we're literally just removing the shine. I've had people that, you know, or I've seen people doing this and they kind of just file and file and file and file so much. And you don't want to do that, because you don't want to damage the natural nail. Again, we're literally just going in to remove the shine from the natural nail. Alrighty, so we finished removing the shine from the natural nail. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and dust my nails off. And just like that. I'm gonna put this back over here. Alrighty, and then after that we can go ahead and apply the acrylic. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply my primer. Before I do that, I'm using the Protein Bond by Young Nails, and it works really good for me. So we're just gonna apply that around the cuticle area. And remember that when you're applying this, you wanna just apply it to the natural nail. You don't wanna get it on the skin, because if you or your client have any little cuts, it will burn really bad. Alrighty, so for my acrylic, as always, I'm going to be using my Mia Secret acrylic system. This is the Mia Secret monomer. I have it in this bottle because it's a lot easier to just pour it into my dapping dish. And then for the acrylic or the polymer, I'm using the Mia Secret pink acrylic, and I just keep it in this little dapping dish. So now for my brush, I'm going to be using my Alpha brush in a number 10, and it's an oval shape. So remember that when you're applying the acrylic, it's really important that you're using good products as well as a good brush. If you don't, it's going to be really hard to apply your products. It's going to be really bumpy and lumpy, so you want to make sure that you're using good products. Mia Secret is pretty inexpensive, so I do highly recommend it, even if you're just using it to practice with. You know, it's really good, and I have no issues with it at all. I use it on myself, I use it on all of my clients, and it just works really good. So anyways, we're going to go ahead and apply the acrylic. So I dipped my brush into the liquid, wiped it off on the dapping dish because I just want like a medium-sized bead. So I wiped it off. I'm gonna dip it into the powder. As you can see, I'm only working with a little bit of product at a time. Applying it closer to the cuticle area, patting it down. And when I'm patting it down, it's basically spreading out throughout the nail and then brushing it down. Make sure that you clean around the cuticle area really good. Alrighty, so the cuticle area looks pretty good. The tip looked like it needs just a little bit, so I applied a bead closer to the tip. Same thing, patting it down and brushing it down towards the tip, and that's it. So same thing for the rest. Remember that when you're working with acrylic, you want to make sure you only work with a little bit of product at a time. You don't want to go in there and apply a big bead and then it's all over the skin. So place it down, pat it down, and then gently brushing it down towards the tip. Make sure that when you're doing this, you're not brushing too hard, because if not, you're gonna brush the acrylic off the nail. And when you clean around the cuticle area, brush really gently. I'm gonna apply another bead closer to the tip. And I'm only doing the bead at the tip just because I need it. So remember that when you're working, to look at the nail from different angles. That way you know exactly where to place more acrylic at. Right here, it looked like I need another one. Remember, you want to make sure that you have a nice apex, because if not, your nails will break off really easily. Okay, that one looks good as well. And as you see, it's the same process over and over again. The steps never change. You're literally doing the same thing over and over again. So it's just a matter of practicing, to get the consistency down. I tell people that it's good to use the Tammy Taylor practice sheet to kind of practice your beads, the consistency of your beads, your liquid to powder ratio, and then start practicing, on someone's nails before you actually start just messing with acrylic. That way, you're not using too much acrylic or not enough acrylic, you kind of have that practice. I will look for the picture or the link of it below, or place it below. I know lately when I've been trying to go to it, it's not working, but if you just go on Google and type in Tammy Taylor practice sheet, it will pop up, and you can just print it off, use one of the little sheet protectors and just place it on top, or put the paper inside, and you can just practice, and you can clean your sheet off with Windex or whatever you want to use. But anyways, we're gonna continue to do this. I'm almost done with this hand. As you can see, for the most part, we're only doing the bead closer to the cuticle area, since it is only a feel, and then we're adding a little bit more wherever it's needed, but for the most part, just doing the product around the cuticle area. And as you can see, it's kind of running a little bit to the sides. My brush might be a little bit too wet, so I am gonna wipe off my brush really good before I dip it back in. But again, make sure that when you're brushing, you brush really gently. That way you don't create any bumps or lumps. Alrighty, so on to the last one. So we're doing the pinky. Same thing, placing that bead closer to the cuticle area, patting it down, and then gently brushing it down towards the tip, and then cleaning around the cuticle area. Alrighty, so we're done with this hand. So now we're gonna go ahead and do the same thing on the other hand. So again, just grabbing your bead, placing it closer to the cuticle area, patting it down. When I'm patting it down, I'm kind of spreading it over to the sides, and then gently brushing it down towards the tip, making sure that we leave most of that product right there closer to the cuticle area, because that's the area that we're filling in. We're just basically blending the rest in with the rest of the nail. I'm gonna apply another bead right there because it still looked a little flat. Same thing, just brushing it down towards the tip. Alrighty, so just like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish off this hand and we'll be back. Alrighty y'all, so we finished filling in both hands and that actually took 25 minutes and 42 seconds. So what I did was, of course, we removed the top coat from the nails, or you would remove the gel polish, you know, whatever you have. Then we pushed back the cuticles, removed the shine from the natural nail, and then we applied the primer and then the acrylic. So this is what my nails look like. So now I'm gonna go ahead and clean my brush off. So as you guys know, I leave my brush in like a little dapping dish with acetone for about 10 minutes until all of the acrylic soaks off from it, or any acrylic that's in my brush. And I do that for every brush whenever I'm applying acrylic, and I do that after each set. So while those brushes clean, or while that brush cleans off, I'm gonna go ahead and start off filing or shaping the nail. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this out of the way. And then now I'm gonna go in with my 100 nail file, and we're gonna start shaping up the nails. So remember that when you're shaping nails, you want to make sure that you're filing exactly from the side of the nail, which is the nail groove, towards the tip, and we're filing exactly at a 90-degree angle. Not like this, not, you know, any type of way, but exactly at a 90-degree angle. You want your nail and your file like literally 90-degree angle. So we're gonna go in and file. Again, make sure that you have your file like literally touching the side of your nail, and we're filing towards like the tip. And you just go back and forth depending on, you know, how narrow you want your nail. Of course, I'm just reshaping it, so I'm not gonna have to do that much filing because I'm just redefining the shape, and then just filing the free edge as well at a 90-degree angle. Okay, just like that. Same thing for all of them. So again, make sure that we hold our file at a 90-degree angle, and that's really important because then you're not going to get that coffin shape that you want if you don't hold your file at exactly a 90-degree angle. And then also what helps me is just placing my finger at the edge of the table. and I just use that so I can get some stability when I'm filing the rest of the nails. And this is only for when I do my nails. Whenever I do other clients' nails, and of course, you know, I don't have to do this, but this is just what I have to do to get the nail really straight at the free edge. So you're gonna find little things like that that work for you. You know, of course, as always, you know, whatever I use might not work for you. So just find little things that work for you to help you speed up the process, or just to make the whole process a lot easier for you. Alrighty, so I finished reshaping this hand, so I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing for the other one. So as you can see, I go right where like the side of the nail is, right there, and I position my file at a 90-degree angle and just filing towards the tip, just going back and forth. Same thing on the other side. And of course, if you want the nail a lot more narrow, then you can go ahead and just keep filing, but I don't want mine that narrow. I'm just gonna keep them how I had them. So I'm just gonna go ahead and file the sides, look at it, it looks good enough for me, and then filing the free edge at a 90-degree angle. Alrighty, so after I finish reshaping my nails, I'm gonna go ahead and go in with my fine drill bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and take that one off, and then I'm gonna switch it over for my fine drill bit, and then we're gonna go ahead and file all of the nails. As you can see, I don't have any bumps and lumps, but we still have to go in and file around the cuticle area, especially that way we don't get any lifting. So let's see. So I'm gonna go ahead and start it up, and I'm gonna use this one at 10,000 RPMs as well. And we're just gonna first start around the cuticle area, going from the right side over to the left side, just going back and forth. And also just filing the rest of the nail. Remember that when you're using your e-file, you want to make sure that you don't keep your drill in one spot for too long, because it's going to cause friction and it's going to cause your client's nail to burn. So keep it moving at all times. Alrighty, just like that. So the way that I know if I filed good enough, it's until I'm able to see, hold on. It's usually until I'm able to see where the cuticle is. So like right here, where my natural nail is, like right there, and then where the acrylic is. As you can see, the rest, you really can't see where my natural nail is. So I go in and file until I am able to see all those three things. So I start from the right side, working my way around to the left side, just going back and forth. And as you can see, I'm using the tip of my drill bit, and this is the angle, hold on. This is what angle I use it at. So I don't go in there just like this. I kind of use it like at a 45-degree angle. I get as close as I can to that cuticle area, go all the way around, and then while I'm doing that, I file the whole nail. Again, and this is just so I can keep my drill moving, you know, at all times, because I don't want to just leave it, you know, around the cuticle area the whole time, because then it's going to cause that friction and it will cause my nail to burn. So if you've ever gotten your nails done, or you've done someone's nails and they pull back, or you pull back because it burns, that's because you left that drill in one spot for too long, and it just causes the nail to burn, and it does not feel good. So again, make sure you keep your drill moving at all times. File around the cuticle area really good, and I also like to file underneath the nail, just, you know, in case we got any acrylic under there, we kind of get it off. But we're gonna go ahead and do the same thing on all of the nails. So one more time, we go from the right side, so like from this side of the nail, work our way all the way around to the left side, going back and forth. As you can see, I keep going back to that first spot, going all the way around, going back again. And it's not just a certain number of times that I do it. I just do it again until I'm able to see where the cuticle is, where the natural nail is, and where the acrylic is. That way that I know that the acrylic is not on the skin. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this on the rest of the nails, and then I'll be back. Alrighty, so I finished doing this hand, so now I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing on this one. So I do the exact same thing, going around the cuticle area, and of course it is a little bit harder for me to do my right hand with my left hand, but you know, I've been doing it for so long that I kind of got used to it. But if you're doing this, you want to make sure that you are careful, especially when you're going around the cuticle area on your other hand, that way you don't cut yourself. But I try to do the exact same thing that I do on my left hand. So go around the cuticle area and also just following the rest of the nail. Alrighty, so I finished filing all of my nails. So now I'm gonna go in with a buffer and we're just gonna buff all of them really good. And this is just going to get rid of any of the scratches left on the nail from the hand file or the e-file. Alrighty, so I finished buffing my nails. So now after this, we're gonna go ahead and just wash my hands off, or dust them off and then wash them. And then we can go in with the polish. So as you can see today, it didn't take that long because I didn't have so much gel polish to file away, and since I left that colored acrylic in there. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and clean my area off, and then I'm gonna go wash my hands and I'll be right back. Alrighty, so I think, like I said, I want to do a red. So I think I'm going to do this Perfect Red by Madam Glam. Of course, I do have a promo code for them, so I'll be sure to leave that down below. And of course, I'm going to do some bling. So I think, let me see. So I think I want to do the bling on my pinkies, maybe. I kind of want to do 2 fingers. But I know for sure I want to do, or let's see. I think I'm gonna just do my ring finger. So I'm gonna do my ring finger, and this is the color Harp on It by Color Club. As you guys know, this is the one that I always use as a base for my bling. Alrighty, so I'm going in with my small cleanup brush. These I do have on my website, so I'll be sure to leave the link in the description. And then I'm gonna go ahead and just apply the red on the rest of the nails. And this is again Perfect Red by Madam Glam. Alrighty, so I did the first coat, so now I'm gonna go ahead and place them under the light. Alrighty, and I am using my Madam Glam lamp, so I'll be sure to leave the link down below to this one as well. Okay, so I cured the first coat, so now I'm gonna go ahead and apply the second coat. Alrighty, so I applied the 2 coats of the Perfect Red. So now I'm gonna go ahead and go in with the bling. So I'm gonna be using my, my AB SS6 and SS12, which is the same ones that I have on my website. I'm gonna be using my wax pencil, which is also on my website, and then I'm gonna use the Soleil nail adhesive. I'm gonna go ahead and apply this on the ring finger. And as always with the bling, I alternate between the two different sizes as I go. I always start closer to the cuticle area, like right in the middle. I start with the SS12 and then I just alternate between the SS6 and the SS12 until I've completely filled in the nail. As you can see, once I start in the middle, I go over to the left side and I just go kind of like around the perimeter of the nail until I fill in the entire nail. Alrighty, so we fill in that entire finger. Now I'm just gonna go in with that same Soleil nail adhesive and I'm just gonna outline the perimeter of the nail with it. And then I feel like I still want something on like my index finger. So let's see. I'm gonna go ahead, I don't even know what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna go ahead and kind of throw some on here. Alrighty, so just like that, and then I think I'm just gonna leave the other three plain because I think I want to do a matte top coat. So for my matte top coat, I'm gonna be using my Nail Supply Glamour matte gel. And hold on, so before I do that, I'm gonna go ahead and just spray these two with the Mia Secret Gel Resin Activator, which looks like this, and this just helps the glue dry a lot faster. And I'm gonna go ahead and apply the matte top coat. Alrighty, so I applied the matte top coat on all of the nails. Again, I used the Nail Supply Glamour matte gel, which is the matte top coat. So I'm gonna go ahead and place them under the light and I'm gonna let them cure for 60 seconds. Alrighty, y'all, so we just cured this first hand. As you can see, it looks a lot better with it being matte. At first I was like, do I really like this red? But now that it's matte, like, I am absolutely in love. So now we're gonna go ahead and do the same thing on the other hand. So again, we're using the Perfect Red by Madame Glam We're also using Harp on it, which is the Color Club polish that I use as a base for my bling. I'm using the Soleil Nail Adhesive for my glue, the Mia Secret Gel Resin Activator to spray the bling off so it can dry faster, my SS12, SS6, some bigger pieces, which are all of these are on my website, and then I have the Nail Supply Glamour Matte Gel Top Coat. So we're gonna go ahead and do the same thing on the other hand, and I'll be back. Alrighty, y'all, so this is the final look. As you can see, they turned out really pretty. I love that matte red, and I just, you know, didn't want to do too much, but they're still really pretty. So as always, I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at GetNailDirty2, and I'll see you guys next time.